And now, as they say, a real change of pace. If you watch The Glass House on ABC TV on Friday nights, you'll know he's probably the country's most laid-back comedian. In fact, it's been said that Dave Hughes is so laid back, he's practically unconscious, which is a line he'd use. If you've spent any time at all in the bush, you'll know dry humour when you hear it. And there's no one drier than Warrnambool's favourite son, Dave.
Dave Hughes! Great to be here, guys. Great to be here, especially with Mother's Day coming up. And I must say I love my mum. So, Mum, I love you. And I probably won't be sending you flowers this year, so sorry.
Didn't think that he, would ever be a comedian, or the last thing he would have done, I would have thought. But he's been very successful, so unbelievable.
Well, I remember when I was young, the world had just begun and I was happy.
Welcome to Warrnambool in southwest Victoria. 3 hours west of Melbourne, it's the middle of conservative Victoria's rural heartland. As a town, it's most famous as headquarters for the Fletcher Jones trouser factory. Here, growing up with 2 sisters and a brother, Dave Hughes mined the material that would make him Australia's most laconic comedian.
He's given me an awful time. I reckon I should be on chairs with him.
What sort of thing has he done?
Oh, well, he sort of makes me out as a real severe man, like as if I give him a flogging and all that. And, I said, never touched him,
Yeah, well, you slackened off for quite a while. You stopped washing it.
With Dad a retired factory worker and Mum a midwife, Dave's background is classic salt of the earth. No pretensions, no big noting, and certainly no plans to spawn a flash TV comedian.
I remember when I was young. I remember when I was young, I surely do.
After I started doing comedy, they were still going, yeah, that's great, Dave, but how about you get a job during the day and you can do that at night, Like, get a proper job.
Everyone having a good time? You're a fantastic crowd. Never forget that. I don't want any of you guys walking out here disappointed in yourself. I want any of you guys walking out thinking, I could have done a bit more in there. You've done your best.
Excellent. Warrnambool reminds me of my family and also drinking beer and playing footy and that's probably what, and not meeting girls. I never had a girlfriend in Warrnambool. I was hopeless. Absolutely hopeless. I never thought I'd have a girlfriend, I was really a bit almost desperate,
Dave's rise to national identity began here. This is where he proved beyond doubt that he was totally useless as a student.
In this classroom behind me was where I got my first laughs. The teacher was a Christian brother called Brother O'Brien, and he was very impressed with me.
Here, look here.
Especially the day I was laughing and when another student was throwing spitballs at him, he punched me in the side of the head. Never forget that.
David was always one of these kids, he can do better. We'd heard that a million times, he can do better,
You listening there, David? Dave? You might think, this is a joke, mate, but in a couple of years' time you'll be looking back and wish you've had to work a little bit harder in this class. I can assure you of that. And you and your mates around you are about the same.
I was doing accounting for 2 years and I just didn't care, And I failed every subject in my second semester of my second year and that was it. Then I started labouring work and I was just getting sacked from many jobs. I used to do a lot of jokes about the dole and it was great doing them. And someone once said to me, what about if you get rich and famous? You won't be able to talk about being on the dole anymore. I said, yep, that thought's going to keep me awake at night.
Determined to make it as a responsible Warrnambool citizen, Dave finally found his calling here at Midfield Meat. Or at least that was the plan.
And that smell takes me back to the days of the gumboots, the white overalls and the paper hat here at the Abs. I used to have a hose. They wouldn't give me a knife. I wasn't cool enough. I used to try to be cool, though. I used to wear a cape and try to get people to call me Hose Boy. I wasn't really successful at the Abs. I remember I tried really hard to be a kitchen hand once when I was living in Perth, and I tried really hard for a fortnight. I gave it my best shot, and I still got sacked. And I thought, I'm really in trouble here. And I looked through the paper and looked for jobs, and I thought, I'm not qualified to do anything.
The main thing is he's so happy and he loves what he's doing and he's getting very good money for it. So It'd be great to be able to do what you want to do.
Well, what did he say to you, Des, once, and you would go and cook about something? I used, you know, when he was not staying at school and all the rest of it, and you said to him, and he reminds you of it quite often, as long as you're happy, son, it doesn't matter what
I
you do.
did say that to me, and he would throw that back at me. You said to me, Dad, you'll be happy what you do, this one thing. So I thought, "Ooh, shut your mouth, Father."
I was in America last year, actually, before the trouble happened. I did a bit of stand-up over there, and they were intrigued by my voice. They were intrigued. One American woman was just saying to me, just say no, just say no. And I said, no. She said, I don't know how you do that. I said, it's a gift.
Dave Hughes goes home. What a funny, funny guy.